Hi, I'm Christy White with Zing Food Service Group. I'm a regional account manager for our southern region. I'm here today in Madison County, Kentucky, and I'm visiting Scott Anderson, who is a food service director for Madison County Schools. We met Scott at KSNA at the annual show back in June, and he is doing some incredible things in his kitchens of all of his schools, and I wanted him to tell you about it. So I hope you watch. Thanks.
And we had a big problem. The problem was we couldn't get students to eat our veggies. The vegetables were going on their tray, but they were then going right into the trash. And so we decided to buy from local farmers. And we found 5 farmers that would provide us with fresh fruit and vegetables that the students loved. And if you had asked me before we started if students would eat broccoli, or if they would eat zucchini or squash, I would have told you, I think so. But now I can tell you for sure that they do. And we can't keep enough on the line. Our participation went up about 45%. And we have 11,000 students in the district. But that gave us another problem. When you buy fresh fruit and veggies from a farmer, they are not processed. So you have to bring them in and you've got to dice and slice and do all of those things. And that causes a lot of work. So we contacted several companies and asked them to bring in equipment during the summer. And I had my crew come in and we diced and sliced and cored apples and lots of other tomatoes and squash. And we found very quickly that the Edlin food processors were the way to go. They were sturdy. My chefs and cooks could use them easily. They were easy to put the veggies in. They worked extremely well. And so we were able to process a lot of our food. We were able to store some for this winter, which we're using now. The other problem we had was farmers. When they're putting items into a box, they're not the same size. When you buy from GFS or one of these other companies, you find that your tomatoes are all the same size. Not so with farmers. So when they brought in our fresh fruits and vegetables, we needed to be able to weigh them accurately to be able to pay them. And so we went over to this scale, digital scale. It allowed us to get an accurate reading. It's heavy duty. We can bang it around a little bit, not too much, but it allowed us to accurately weigh at each of our 18 schools so we know exactly what we're getting in fruit and vegetable wise. So some of the things that we're doing, we take apples and we get cases of them at a time. We run them through here and we core them out. That allows us to freeze the apples, come back and do a few things, such as our Christmas dinner. We had a smoked turkey with an apple gravy over top of it, which was fantastic. It also allows us to do some apple turnovers and things like that. We take a square pizza dough, put apples in the middle of it, kind of bend up the corners and bake that for an apple turnover. It allows us to be really creative. Using instruments and machines like this allows us to use as much of the vegetable or fruit as possible, which allows us to put more out for the students, cuts back on waste. It also cuts back on labor because you don't have a whole lot of people slicing and dicing. You can do it very quickly through here and you can do it very fast. Students like the fresh fruits and vegetables, so they're eating more. Like I said, we can't keep enough squash on the line, so it allows us to come back and prep some very, very quickly. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about myself and a little bit about the district. I've been in Madison County for 9 years now. I was an assistant principal at a middle school for 7 of those 9 or so. And I have about 26 years in education, most of them on the other side. And I've been food service director for 3 years now. I take a different approach to food service. We have 11,000 students in the district and we're growing. We have 18 schools and I want to feed every single child and I want to make sure that they get a healthy meal. So we do some creative things. I have smokers in 3 of our schools and we do a lot of our own smoked meat and smoked vegetables and those type of things. We bring food in from farmers because it's more nutritious, it tastes better, and kids love it. But we think outside the box, and I want to give our students a gourmet meal. We wear chef jackets, those type things, because I want the experience to be like they're in a restaurant. So I try to work with companies that are real easy to work with, and Zinc has been fantastic. They brought equipment down, they loaned it to us for several days. Bob and Christy have been excellent to work with. They've done training, they've answered all of our questions, and when we've had problems, they've been there to help us solve those problems. So it's been really good to work with them.